Um, so I'm gonna try a new kind of form of video today because I feel like my spiritual journey is moving me away from tarot at the moment, which is fine. I'm honoring that, um, and we'll see where it takes me. But there has been a message on my heart for a while. It has a lot to do with Palestine or Palestine. It has a lot to do with white supremacy. It has a lot to do with systems changing and shifting and giving way for newness. Um, but I do want to start with, I guess, with the fact that it is time. The earth has shifted. Uh, Mashallah. When we hit the Aquarian age, the resonance of the earth shifted. It's being affected by a completely different sign. And, we're moving with an era of light. Whether we like it or not, is the safest to be alive at this moment in the West um, than I think it has ever been throughout history. And yeah, it still has its negative um, connotations, I guess, or negative attributes. But if we actually look at it entirely, we are very blessed to be living in a society where things are as readily available as they are. A lot of other people are fighting for resources while we have blessings all around us. And to not feel blessed is to miss out on an opportunity to see life through so much love. When you realize how much you have just given to you by living in, and I say stable with an open mind, but with stability. A lot of countries are living through instability right now. A lot of people are oppressed because of systems that, quite frankly, uplift the West. And it's just happened over time that the West has become more multicultural as more people are moving to look for a better life. But that is the idea that they perpetuated. So I think they should be happy that it works so well. But that inevitably has also shifted the vibration. Because when the people you have oppressed live among you and they see that you are still trying to oppress us while living among you, and this kind of collective mindset of community and how much community is needed, it's kind of killing individualism from the inside out because it starts with each individual person. And so we are in amidst a grand shift. Sorry, I thought I had the door. But we are in amidst a grand shift. Things are changing. We're upgrading in so many ways. There is a lot to be found. Sorry, I'm just trying to listen. No, I don't think it's our floor. I should probably pause this, but I won't. Anyways, moving on. So yeah, life is good. Life is abundant. We have so many blessings over here, and it's not perfect. No, it's not. Um, but it's far better to focus on the resources that you do have, the blessings that you do have that you can make use of to change your situation, rather than focus on all the negative things that are stopping you from moving forward. Because that's when you realize that they are illusions. Um, and just being able to open your mind to that kind of concept of a life that is balanced in light and dark inherently, you kind of, because the universal law of balance works through many planes, many dimensions, and many expressions of existence. It is one of the grandest and oldest tales of life. Balance. It's been spoken about in all religious texts across the Bible. Justice is a form of balance as well. A system whereby the balance is kept. And I feel as though as we entered the Aquarian age, there was this energetic support for a specific frequency of balance. But the interesting thing about this is because with each time that a system shifts, there is a rise and fall to power of an empire. The reason why this happens is because it's just energetically, and I feel like it feels randomized. Like looking back, at the past empires, it feels randomized. But I think there is divine order to even randomness. It's like all a part of balance in the grand scheme of things. But there comes a time where your energetic support, your time is up to rule, is up, and it shifts to another race. And I think we've been alive long enough where I think just about every single race has ruled or been the, what did they call them? Like the steward of Earth, if that makes sense. And it results in structures, especially when there's imbalances in life in general. But they all contribute something to the greater good. So we've just been in a system of like white supremacy, which has been perpetuating for many, many years. Now we're all very familiar with it, but it brought about the rise of technology. Because it was in the Piscean age, so there was all about this like law of polarity, and like what is that middle connection between the polarities. I'm trying to think of an example. So, for example, like science and even medicine and spirituality are quite separate, but inherently they're linked, and they should be linked. In ancient times, they were linked, but I feel like it needed to be separate so that we could develop in other ways. Like we have technology now, and we've gotten to a pinnacle of technology with AI, which was like prophesized about, like getting to a point where once we get to that point, which is like AI, everything shifts, basically. It was kind of like the last thing that we needed of that time, like living in that frequency. We had to live in a very like polarized frequency for a reason, so that we could create technology and all the things that we have now. And then now we can bring in back spirituality and balance both. And this is what the shift is happening. So I think power is up for grabs for anyone who can become high vibrational enough to get it, because the vibration has been like, it's been I'm holding a hot water bottle, so yeah, but it's been, what's the word, like, I don't even know, like the price has increased if you can't foot the bill. And it's like, I feel like it's a spiritual thing. If you can't foot the bill, you can't foot the bill. But the price has increased for power, and it's a different system to get power now. The wheel of fortune has changed, it's shifted. So at this time, it's like the people that are able to reach a balance in their energy are able to be picked up on this frequency, and they will get like a head start in a sense because they get called to the forefront. It's just whenever you hear the call, it's like when you are attuned to the frequency, you hear the call a lot clearer. It's like if you've ever watched Doctor Who, there was one point where he was like tuning the frequency of the supersonic screwdriver, and it was like sounding slightly off, and then until it sounded like the perfect frequency, I guess. And that's what it kind of is like when the universe sends out a call, especially when it's like for the collective and not for you personally. If the universe sends out a call, the people that are more balanced and able to raise and lower their vibration kind of go with the flow of the universe, and that comes with just practice. You're able to answer the call a lot quicker because you hear it quicker. Whereas if you're not in the right frequency, it sounds distorted and you may not pick it up. There's also 11:11 on the clock, but there's also something about like things that you are gifted with, like blessings, coming wrapped in things that you don't want. And I watched this TikTok video about that, which explained it so well. It's like, if you order like a bag of chips, I don't know why I said chips like an American, but a bag of crisps. Chips felt so right in that moment. But yeah, a bag of chips, a bag of crisps. If you order it from like a store or something online, it's gonna go through so many hands to get to you. Like, it's gonna come out the factory, it's gonna be put in the bag, it's gonna be taken off the truck, it's gonna be put on the truck, it's gonna be in the store, someone else is gonna pick it up, put it in a basket, send it off in, like, I don't know, some other thing, until you get your bag of chips. So imagine if the blessing just came open, like without any wrapping around it. So like the packet is what we don't really want, it's just there, but it's a protection for it to come in something you don't want. It also like prevent other people from seeing the blessing, right? And like wanting it from themselves. So it has to come in something that you don't want, because it's only going to hit you if it resonates with you. And yeah, because like imagine like it just be going through everyone's hands and it being touched so many times. It's like, nah, you got to keep that energy sovereign for you. But yeah, there's this sensation of people being called to the forefront, people being called to relocate, especially if you are like in tune, listen to your intuitive guidance at this time. Because I'm seeing like the grids of the planet, and like an astrocartography grid, and you're being called to places where your power or your certain aspects of you are exalted, because it's holding a specific frequency that is for the greater good. So listen to where, you feel you get an intuitive guidance about people that you shouldn't be really hanging around, or if you feel like your intuition is saying don't go there or don't do that, don't spend your energy there, conserve your energy at this time. There's a reason for it. And this goes monetarily, this goes for physically, in any of your bodies. See how you feel and definitely honor that. But there's going to be a lot of great shifts happening, and there is something to say about 1616. There's something to say about Palestine or Palestine, and the way that people's hearts are being polarized at this time. And it's becoming very clear who is tapped into their humanity, who is still connected to the all, and who is not. Because if you are able to look truth in the face and deny it for the sake of your own power or fear or anything really, it's not coming from good intentions. That's Seven of Cups energy, that's illusions, that's Seven of Swords energy, it's false, it's masks. There's no way that your frequency can be held if you are in that energy, if you are not able to align with truth. So, I don't know. I just feel like I'm not trying to project onto anything, but I feel like that just carries a big judgment. To see genocide and not only decide to stay silent, but to decide to completely disregard it. It's questionable. Um, so yeah, there is a big shift happening. I feel like we're gonna be seeing more systems beginning to crack open a little bit. But I think the whole transition is going to be quite slow. I think it's going to take time. I think it's going to open a. It's going to like be seeded in the hearts of people, so they will start to create heaven on earth in their own little ways. The things that they create in that energy become free radicals for change, shifting the world around them. Even if they're just affecting one person, that one person now holds that frequency of change, of truth, of love. Whatever frequency it is that you are projecting outwards and doing light work, but also shadow work on this plane. It depends on your sovereignty. Like, what does your energy signature hold? What effect does your energy signature have on others? Are you an activator? I'm trying to think of other ones. I feel like an activator, adjudicator. I keep on hearing like simplicity and balance. So I don't know, but you have to know what your energy is for you, and that may be where you're being called to the forefront right now. What are you naturally gifted at, and that will show you something. But it's like a mixture of your ikigai, like what are you naturally gifted at, but also what holds a deep frequency within your heart. And I'm also being told to tell you, do not be afraid of if you feel like your energy is pulling you somewhere else. Remember, you're a spiritual nomad first. In terms, you are bouncing around in the spiritual realm, completing tasks, doing other things, incarnating on different planets. The universe is very vast. It's huge even. And time only exists on this plane. Time is like a polarizing field, so we do not see how it looks from the 5D where everything is collapsed and all existences or all timelines exist at once. So that is like from the beginning to the end of time on this planet and everything in between. Which is where like timeline jumping and shifting comes in, but let's not talk about that today. But yeah, time is like the polarizing field. And so there's a lot that we can't see. But you just have to have faith and trust, because if your energy is pulling you in a certain direction, trust there is a divine reason. Confirmation, but trust there is a divine reason. And people are always going to react when you pull your energy back to yourself, especially if they feel you are nearing a breakthrough, which I feel like a lot of the collective is. And you're being told to like pay no mind, because you are protected. Like, this is your sovereign path. There's nothing that's going to get in the way of your destiny. If anything, you are energetically supported, and as you continue to honor your gifts, your intuition, your energy, and the what is the word? Like the importance of it, yes, but also what is the word? I can't remember. like how much it's worth, basically. Like remembering how much your energy is worth. Thank you, Spirit, because I was struggling there. But remembering how much your energy is worth, and I can't even remember what I was saying before that. But I think I was talking about like how it's gonna affect people, and you just kind of have to like live with that, honor that, and you can't blame them. Just send them love and light. My candle just went out. Sad times. But yeah, just send them love and light. That's the most you can do. Um, and hope that someday they'll grow to understand and heal and follow this path. But you can't bring anyone with you. You know that. You know you can't force anyone to get on this path. You can't. You've tried many times before, and you learn the hard way sometimes that it just wasn't going to happen. You can't heal anyone. You can't force anyone to heal before it's their time. And the universe, God, Allah, knows true divine timing. Oh, yeah, some of you are going to be getting messages like tapping in with nature when you're around nature, or being led somewhere. Like sometimes when I'm going through like a shift, I'll go on intuition walks, and I think I've been going through some shifts recently, like to the point where it felt like I've been grounding in very different ways and being grounded in my reality. Like everything feels real, but just the, don't even know what to call it, like the systems or the ways of being that existed before are literally just falling to the wayside in front of my face. There's nothing I can really do about it other than honor it, and it's just falling to the wayside, and I'm just standing there observing it all while being grounded in prayer, in meditation, in showering, in going to the park and like doing tai chi by a tree and hugging trees. Like I'm being connected to earth in a very different way than my actual like my egoic reality, than the projection that my soul is living through. It's like the connections with others, the things that I think grounded me into the matrix have fallen away completely. And I think it's because, you know, in times for shifts, spirit is becoming more and more clear about when there is a time for a shift, and when you have to get up and go and do something, and when it's time to rest. I've also just been honoring the fact that I need to rest, and I've been conserving my energy, and I'm doing it unapologetically for the first time in my life, I think, where I'm just like, nah, like I've got things to do, like I can't go out, or my energy's quite low anyways, like I don't want to go drink, like you know, things like that. I'm good, because life is a blessing and life is blessed. But also, in order for me to maintain my inner peace and my mental state and the blessings that I am receiving, I have to make sure that I'm taking care of myself, and I'm taking care of myself first. So yeah, that was for somebody, because I just felt like I was like just went off into a completely different zone then. But yeah, I think also the affirmations that you tell yourself at this time, like I think you should be telling yourself affirmations of, you know, I have faith and trust in the universe that everything is happening for my greatest good, even when it doesn't look like it. Because often before a big change, there's a little bit of chaos that comes first, and then there's like the cleanup process. But that cleanup process is becoming more streamlined for you, because you are energetically supported in this journey. So expect things to feel like they're just moving forward and moving like swimmingly, and you are on top of your stuff. Definitely. A lot about feeling more connected and feeling more spiritually inclined. Sacred geometry also keeps coming up, and this is something I've been just witnessing across readings that I've been doing for myself and readings that I've been receiving online, it's like the Hierophant energy. And I feel like that is a collective thing, the Hierophant energy, like stepping into this kind of spiritual leadership role. And I'm not talking about like spiritual leader as in like you are becoming uh, I don't know, like a spiritual leader in your community, but in terms of like you are leading your own spirituality, like you are coming to a set of values and morals and understandings that suit you and become, it's like it's not a dogma for you because you're open-minded and are understanding of so many different religions, but you're taking what resonates and you've crafted something that resonates with you, that allows you to tap into your spirituality to the best of your ability and not following just trends or what other people say work for them, because you're realizing that the only thing that is going to work for you on your spiritual journey is what actually works for you. And that again comes through trial and error, but I think you've done a lot of trial and error within your life, so I think things are just about to click. It's like I'm getting the energy of you finding the right key to unlock the life of your dreams. It's like it's been there and it's been unfolding. It's like a cloud constantly shifting and changing. The more you focus on it, the more intention that you put towards it, it just grows. Oh, damn. Yeah, the more intention you put on it, the more it grows. And because you're sending energy that way. So you've been focusing on your path and you've been focusing on your fulfillment, you've been focusing on your happiness. All that intention and energy has been paid forward. So you may have been getting a lot of messages saying that like you made it, like you shifted, and that is because the thing is the shift happens spiritually and then through all of the bodies, and then it hits the physical last, Malkuth. Like this is the bit where it's grounded. So it has to go through like the 10 Sephirots from the Ace of Wands, which is Keter, all the way down to Malkuth, which is the Earth. Pretty sure, which is like the 10th. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that is like the 10 of Pentacles. Could be wrong about that. But the 10s in general, they hit. 555 is also significant. That is a sign that like for you that you're going to be living your dreams very soon, like the life that you've always dreamed of, and it's going to just pop out of nowhere. It's going to seem so divine how it all came together. And I think it's going to come after you make a decision to make a shift, after you release some mindsets where it comes to also people pleasing, like some lingering things that were just in your auric field, which are just going to be like pressed out without even much effort from you. It's going to feel like it's just being like, you know, like sweat. Like if you're exercising, it's coming off as a byproduct. So this is you exercising a new part of your brain, which is releasing other things that were just kind of stuck there. And now I'm seeing like someone comb through like sand, and it's like things are coming out of the sand, and you're just like throwing those things away. And so the sand is like cleansed and cleaned. Like in bonsai, what do they call them? Like those little gardens? Can't remember what it's called. Those little gardens, like, or sand, and you have the little pebbles in them. Oh, have a good night. Oh yeah, it is Friday night. That's 11:11 on the clock, which talks about like integration as well. Like it talks about like the divine masculine, the divine feminine, the dark divine feminine, the dark divine masculine. It talks about like your shadow and light attributes being integrated, and it also talks about like the full parts of your soul. And I also seen like 222, which is all about balance, harmony, and stability. And that's going to be a sign that like you can feel into your blessings, feel into that life, because you are making it more and more real. And it's also a sign that if you can feel it, it is there. It exists on a plane, on a timeline. And you just have to pray and like meditate on the fact that you will be guided down your highest path, and your highest path has that scenario in it. And that's what you have to do. And that can shift and change. You're allowed to shift and change. The amount of times I kind of felt a little bit like, oh, I don't want to say the word idiot, but like, you know, it just makes you feel silly. Like when you think of something with your whole heart and then you get proved wrong. But the thing is, this is why I keep things to myself. Like it often happens a lot where you think, oh, this person's my soulmate. And then like you realize, oh wait, no, maybe that was just like an initial feeling that I was feeling, but that isn't necessarily the truth. But it's like, you know, as I've gotten older, instead of it being something that I've like put way too much effort or emphasis into and then being disappointed, it's more of a thing where I feel like I'll think it and I'll like start making plans in my head, because I often do that, and then after a while I'll just realize that, okay, especially at this point in my life, like I'm very much focused on work and what I'm doing, and what I'm trying to build. So if it doesn't like kind of fall into place easily, I'm okay with it falling away. Like I'm okay with it falling away because I'm very much focused on what I'm doing right now. Yeah. Trying to think, is there anything else that was coming through with this message? Mushrooms are significant as well. Like either like psilocybin or just like mushrooms in general. But you know, they have like is it like, I don't want to make up a number, but there's a 7 in there, like foot long mycelium under the layer of earth, which, you know, all the plants kind of connect to and communicate from, which I think is absolutely insane. That's crazy. Like that carries so much ancient knowledge. And you know, they recently have come out with the fact that like you can talk to trees and trees understand, and they form connections and they form like communities. I think that's so beautiful. It's definitely humanizing to plants and nature. Humanizing to plants and nature. That's such an interesting way of putting it, I think. But yeah, I feel like this kind of felt a bit more like a podcast episode, but this is just talking about the shifts that are happening. If you are still watching, I appreciate you. I do want to say before I go any further that so at this time I'm not taking any personal readings. Also probably gonna slow down with the tarot readings on YouTube, because again, my spiritual journey is just like moving me in a different direction. I may do more videos like this just when I come out of the messages, instead of doing like a tarot reading with them. And yeah, I think there's a couple that like I've recorded that I'll just put out periodically, or maybe not. Because I think especially some of the collective messages, I'm not sure like about the timing of that, if it's still relevant. But some of the picker cards I think I'll put out. And yeah, so I hope these messages resonated. If you are feeling that the shift is here and you are feeling called to the forefront, I'd love to hear more about that, because I think we are all being called to the forefront in our own little ways, and there's a lot of work to be done, and it starts again with us putting that emphasis forward, bringing heaven to earth, like as above so below, in our own lives. And that becomes a free radical for change, for light, to inspire others, for others to, you know, follow in that understanding of bringing heaven to earth and seeing it, watching it, allowing that perception of it to changing the world, like unfold before them. Because, you know, it's energetic time. It's the energetic time for the good guys to win. And I say that even though it sounds cheesy, but like the energy of love and expressing the energy of love for love's sake and not for anyone else's sake is the abundance that we see ourselves with today. And also free Palestine, free Sudan, free Congo, and mashallah, life on earth will continue to raise its vibration, elevate, and find true peace. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you guys in the next one.